Snow drifts across silent white plains. Ancient forests breathe forgotten Slavic stories. Wooden forts rise beside frozen rivers. Life begins in cold, unforgiving landscapes. Survival becomes every tribe's first lesson. Rivers slowly become trade-filled pathways. Routes link Scandinavia to Byzantine markets. Boats carry furs, metals, distant ideas. Cultures meet across misty morning waters. The Rus learn, adapt, and transform. Orthodox domes shimmer through early fog. Bell towers echo across quiet settlements. Faith offers structure in harsh winters. Spiritual identity shapes evolving communities. Belief becomes a unifying northern anchor. A soft narration breaks the silence. Russia wasn't born an empire instantly. It rose from centuries of hardship, a journey shaped by cold endurance. Strength forged through relentless struggle. The tone of the story settles, 1,000 years of ambition unfolding. 1,000 years of survival-driven growth. 1,000 years shaping a vast empire, from snow-covered plains to rising power. This journey begins in silence, resilience, determination. Cold rivers carry long Viking shadows. Varangian ships slice through morning frost. Warriors stand steady beneath grey skies. Their arrival feels calculated, not chaotic. Local tribes watch with cautious curiosity. Trade needs order, not endless disputes. Rurik becomes the leader they accept. His rule brings quiet, deliberate stability. Fortified towns rise beside flowing rivers. Markets flourish under disciplined Varangian oversight. Power spreads through fairness and strength. Northern courage blends with Slavic resilience. A structured political course slowly develops. Rus identity begins forming through necessity. This foundation shapes centuries of future power. Rivers become highways linking scattered tribes. Boats move where roads barely exist. Kiev rises along these vital waters. Its markets overflow with foreign goods. Merchants bargain beside shimmering river stalls. Clans gather peacefully under shared goals. A unified state slowly gains confidence. Influence grows through trade, not conquests. Councils form to settle rising disputes. Written agreements stabilize regional cooperation. The name Kiev Rus spreads widely. It symbolizes unity, ambition, and order. A new Slavic world finally takes shape. This state becomes the region's beating heart. Vladimir seeks a belief uniting his people. He studies faiths from distant cultural centers. Envoys return with compelling Byzantine accounts. Ritual, beauty, and order impress deeply. He chooses Christianity to anchor his realm. His baptism becomes a defining historical moment. Rivers fill with citizens accepting new faith. Old pagan symbols fade into quiet memory. Church bells echo across emerging settlements. Shared belief gives people spiritual direction. Morality gains structure beyond tribal laws. A new identity spreads through daily life. Faith becomes unity's strongest cultural pillar. Vladimir reshapes Rus with lasting conviction. Byzantine envoys arrive carrying refined wisdom. They bring art, law, ceremony, philosophy. Golden icons shine in candlelit chambers. Orthodox chants drift through wooden streets. Builders study mosaics with careful admiration. Domes rise above cities with spiritual grandeur. Clergy introduce organized systems of justice. Imperial law helps regulate complex disputes. Trade follows shared cultural understanding smoothly. Marriage, inheritance, and governance gain structure. Rus absorbs influence, not blind imitation. Slavic culture grows deeper through adaptation. This fusion strengthens identity across generations. Kiev becomes a center of regional sophistication. Yaroslavl's passing shakes political foundations violently. Brothers and sons claim territories with urgency. Unity tears undergrowing dynastic rivalries. Cities follow their local princes independently. Trade routes weaken as conflicts intensify. Foreign powers watch fractures widen dangerously. Peasant villages suffer from shifting loyalties. Once strong alliances collapse into regional blocs. Every prince seeks dominance, not reconciliation. The state loses its central guiding voice. Fragmentation spreads faster than diplomacy can heal. Rus becomes vulnerable to outside threats. This disunity shapes the region's darkest chapters. The first Russian state quietly fades apart. Winter winds carry approaching Mongol riders, hooves thunder across frozen northern fields. Smoke rises long before armies appear. Towns tremble under relentless advancing forces. Walls crumble against unmatched Mongol precision. Entire cities burn beneath crimson skies. Survivors flee through forests in silence. Ancient chronicles describe unimaginable devastation. Church bells fall from shattered towers. Libraries vanish in fire and ash. Every street reflects fear and chaos. The invasion reshapes destiny instantly, permanently. Rus enters its darkest historical winter. A new era of submission begins. The Horde rules from distant steppe capitals. Princes approach humbled, heads bowed low. Tribute becomes survival, not cooperation. Gold, grain, furs flow south annually. Collectors enforce quotas without hesitation. Mercy. Resistance brings ruin upon entire regions. Princes learn diplomacy through careful obedience. Every agreement carries weighty consequences. The Horde's authority feels absolute, immovable. Fear becomes the empire's political currency. Yet tribute buys fragile local autonomy. Cities rebuild slowly under Mongol oversight. A quiet balance forms between control, endurance. Rus learns to survive under pressure. Amid chaos, Moscow chooses quiet loyalty. Princes deliver tributes quickly and efficiently. The Horde rewards reliability with authority. New privileges expand Moscow's regional influence. Trade routes shift toward its growing markets. Merchants gather under its protective governance. Walls strengthen as wealth flows steadily. Rulers master politics through cautious strategy. Moscow grows while rivals remain fractured. Every year increases its subtle dominance. Loyalty becomes a calculated political weapon. Moscow transforms into a rising powerhouse. Future leadership seeds are planted silently. Mongol methods shape emerging regional structures. Princes adopt census-based taxation systems. Armies reorganize with disciplined formations. Messengers travel swiftly along new routes. Central authority strengthens through improved administration. Punishments become harsher, quicker, standardized. Governance embraces efficiency over tradition. Local rulers study Mongol diplomatic tactics. Intelligence networks expand across major towns. War horses and cavalry tactics reshape battles. Rus becomes sharper, harder, more coordinated. Influence turns into transformation over generations. Mongols reshape the region, far beyond warfare. Then a spark ignites long-awaited change. Princes gather beneath Dmitri's determined banner. Armies march toward Kilikovo's open fields. Morning fog veils thousands of armored warriors. Steel clashes as thunder rolls across earth. Blood and courage define every desperate moment. Mongol forces face unexpected fierce resistance. For the first time, victory feels possible. Dmitri's forces drive enemies into retreat. The steppe finally sees shifting power. Though not independence, hope rises dramatically. This battle becomes a symbol of awakening. Rus discovers strength beyond fear and tribute. Across Muscovy, a new confidence rises. Ivan III studies centuries of submission. He knows tribute chains weaken identity. He moves cautiously, but with purpose. Princes gather beneath his growing authority. Walls strengthen as armies train relentlessly. The Horde's influence begins slowly fading. Moscow refuses payment for the first time. A silent standoff replaces ancient fear. Rivers carry whispers of bold defiance. No battle, yet a victory emerges. Mongol power retreats without returning fire. Russian lands unite under firm leadership. A new era begins with steady determination. Ivan turns attention toward fractured neighbors. Novgorod stands proud, but dangerously independent. Muscovite armies march with calculated precision. The city falls under measured control. Its wealth fuels Moscow's expanding influence. Next comes Tver, resisting until final moments. Annexation reshapes political balance across regions. Lands merge into one rising dominion. Local princes bow to central authority. Moscow becomes the unquestioned northern center. Influence spreads through law and loyalty combined. Unification becomes strategy, not mere ambition. Russia's territorial core forms during this consolidation. A royal bride arrives from distant Constantinople. Sophia carries the legacy of broken empires. Her lineage descends from Byzantine emperors. Her presence changes Muscovy's political aspirations. Courts adopt more ceremonial imperial customs. Diplomacy gains elegance, structure, sophistication. Ivan gains legitimacy beyond northern borders. European powers now reconsider Moscow's status. Sophia becomes bridge between eras, civilizations. Her influence strengthens Moscow's cultural identity. A fallen empire's spirit finds new home. Byzantine memory lives through Muscovite ambition. This marriage transforms Russia's future direction. Symbols carry power deeper than banners. The double-headed eagle rises above Moscow. One head watches east with vigilance. One head watches west with confidence. Together they represent unity and destiny. The emblem reflects inherited Byzantine authority. It signals Moscow's claim to imperial continuity. Churches and fortresses display the emblem proudly. Princes understand its message instantly, clearly. Moscow is no longer a regional principality. It now carries the language of empire. Identity becomes bold, expansive, unmistakable. The symbol defines Russia for centuries ahead. Clerics gather beneath shimmering golden domes. They proclaim history's turning point boldly. Two Romes have fallen, elders declare. The third stands here, and stands forever. Moscow claims spiritual leadership of orthodoxy. Faith strengthens political ambition dramatically overnight. Princes speak with revived imperial confidence. People believe destiny guides their rising homeland. Church councils support Moscow's central authority. The title shapes foreign policy for centuries. A new worldview settles upon the nation. Moscow becomes capital of a larger vision. The road to empire becomes unmistakably clear. The Kremlin echoes with ceremonial chants. Ivan IV stands, crowned in golden splendor. A new title shapes centuries of power. Tsar, ruler beyond mere princely bounds. Nobles bow, while whispers ripple through corridors. The people witness history's sudden transformation. Authority now claims divine as well as earthly. Rulers of neighboring lands take careful note. Moscow rises from regional capital to empire. The future of Russia pivots on this moment. Ceremonies blend tradition with newfound ambition. A young ruler inherits centuries of expectation. Tsardom begins with both hope and tension. Dark riders patrol the silent night streets. Black-clad forces enforce Ivan's merciless will. Nobles tremble beneath the shadow of power. Accusations fly, often without evidence or warning. Families vanish. Wealth and lands are seized. Fear spreads as loyalty becomes survival's currency. Ivan's vision mixes paranoia with authority's logic. The Oprichnina leaves scars across Russian lands. Public trust shatters under constant, brutal vigilance. Ordinary people whisper cautiously in shadowed corners. Some see justice, others feel relentless terror. This is a reign of fire and control. Internal purges redefine fear as political instrument. Cannons roar across Volga river plains. Kazan resists, but walls eventually crumble. Astrakhan follows, submission marking expanded borders. Tatars, Bashkirs, and many peoples now included. Diverse cultures fold under Moscow's growing authority. Trade routes shift. Wealth flows into the capital. Military triumph fuels Tsar's unchallenged prestige. Multi-ethnic empire begins forming across steppe and river. Religious and cultural negotiations slowly enforce obedience. Russian identity blends conquest with cautious tolerance. Expansion comes at the cost of countless lives. Yet the empire now spans vast, strategic lands. This conquest defines Russia's emerging continental reach. Ivan strengthens rule over princes and boyars. Every decree flows from the Tsar's hand. Governance becomes centralized, efficient, and exacting. Councils lose autonomy. Authority concentrates at Moscow. Taxes, military service, law answer one ruler. Dissent is swiftly crushed or carefully monitored. Local governors report directly to Tsar's court. Autocracy becomes practical, feared, deeply ingrained. Power is no longer shared among the elite. The state's machinery moves under a single vision. Every citizen feels the Tsar's distant presence. Centralized authority begins shaping Russia's future administration. The road to absolute monarchy is firmly paved. Borders stretch farther than any previous ruler's reach. Cities flourish in newly conquered, fertile territories. Trade and military strength define Moscow's supremacy. Yet fear lingers in every corner of society. Oprichnina's shadow haunts generations of nobility. Peasantry bears burden of war and heavy taxation. Tsar's vision leaves glory intertwined with tragedy. Expansion brings wealth, but also political instability. Internal strife simmers beneath seemingly ordered governance. Ivan's reign writes history in fire and steel. Power and terror remain inseparably intertwined. The Tsardom emerges stronger, yet deeply scarred. A ruler remembered for brilliance and ruthlessness alike. Chaos spreads across towns and villages quickly. Famine stalks regions, leaving sorrowful trails. Pretenders claim thrones. Confusion grips Moscow. Foreign armies move into weakened borders. Nobles fight each other for fleeting power. Common people suffer amidst endless uncertainty. Fate struggles to provide hope and stability. Rivers carry whispers of despair and fear. Ancient cities face rebellion and starvation alike. The state seems fragile, ready to shatter. Every corner feels tension, mistrust, and danger. This is Russia's darkest, most uncertain moment. The nation stands at history's precarious edge. In 1613, hope quietly returns to Moscow. A young boy inherits fractured lands carefully. Nobles and clergy unite behind cautious choice. Mikhail's rule promises stability, not immediate grandeur. Diplomacy guides every move in early reign. People's eyes cautiously follow his growing authority. Faith reinforces legitimacy across troubled regions. Councils settle disputes under centralized oversight. A dynasty is born to rebuild fractured order. Moscow becomes heart of renewed political strength. The Romanovs step cautiously onto history's stage. Stability begins slowly, but firmly, to return. Russia breathes again after decades of turmoil. Moscow turns eyes toward vast southern lands. Ukrainian territories integrate under careful negotiation. Siberian frontiers open, harsh, frozen, expansive. Cossacks explore rivers, forests, and steppe expanses. Trade and fur routes bring wealth steadily. New settlements expand the empire's practical reach. Borders stretch into unknown, icy wilderness. Diverse peoples now fall under Romanov authority. Strategic expansion balances ambition with cautious governance. Moscow solidifies influence across continental distances. Empire grows steadily, guided by careful policy. Russia moves from fragile state to emergent power. The foundation for a future greatness is laid. Lands tie peasants to lords' estates firmly. Agriculture drives economy across fertile plains. Every harvest strengthens noble and Tsar authority. Freedom diminishes for commoners, labor secured. Taxes and labor flow directly into governance. Rural villages operate under strict, enduring rules. Peasantry provides essential stability for emerging states. Social hierarchies solidify through land and labor. Economy now depends on controlled, agrarian wealth. State power grows alongside structured land ownership system. Serfdom ensures resources, control, and predictable labor. A rigid, land-based structure shapes future society. Stability comes at the cost of personal freedom. Alexis encourages arts, literature, and religious traditions. Monasteries, churches, and schools flourish quietly. Architecture blends Byzantine legacy with Russian innovation. Icons shine in newly constructed sacred spaces. Education spreads cautiously among the upper classes. Court ceremonies grow elaborate, reflecting growing confidence. Music and literature foster emerging national identity. Alexis strengthens faith as a cultural anchor. Civil codes gradually reflect Romanov's central authority. Cultural cohesion supports political stability and growth. Russian society gains sophistication alongside governance structures. Foundations laid for Peter the Great's later reforms. Identity strengthens while empire continues consolidating peacefully. Peter's early years are cold and harsh. Palace intrigue surrounds the young, restless heir. Violence and fear shape his formative days. He witnesses inefficiency and corruption among nobles. Ambition sparks, burning brighter than early fear. Every slight fuels desire for reform and strength. He dreams of a powerful, modern Russia. No challenge seems impossible to his determination. Childhood trauma becomes catalyst for future empire. Education mixes military, engineering, and foreign knowledge. Every experience molds a visionary, relentless ruler. Russia's future begins to pivot on his vision. Cannons roar across frozen northern waters. Swedish forces meet Russian determination head-on. Armies clash along harsh, unforgiving terrains. Victory requires discipline, strategy, and unyielding endurance. Peter studies European warfare techniques closely. Naval innovations change balance of regional power. Every battle shifts the Baltic strategic landscape. Allies rally as Russia gains undeniable momentum. Port cities fall into Russian control gradually. Victory secures access to critical maritime trade. Peter asserts Russia's power beyond its borders. The war transforms the nation into European contender. Baltic dominance symbolizes new imperial confidence. Swamps and forests give way to ambition. Laborers toil under relentless Peter's supervision. Canals, forts, and palaces rise from mud. Europeans arrive to shape cities' architecture. St. Petersburg becomes gateway for Western ideas. Ships sail through newly dug waterways proudly. The city embodies Peter's vision of progress. Northern wines carry whispers of bold transformation. Every stone reflects ambition, strategy, and endurance. Capital shifts, signaling Russia's new global role. St. Petersburg shines as symbol of modernization. Peter's western window opens wider, influencing generations. Russia looks outward while forging internal strength. Old systems crumble under Peter's exacting reforms. Armies adopt European drills and modern strategy. Ships launch, establishing Russia's new naval presence. Generals train with discipline never seen before. Taxation, bureaucracy, and law streamline governance efficiently. Merit replaces birthrights in selected positions gradually. Infrastructure improvements connect distant provincial territories. Military and civil administration gain central coordination. Old traditions clash with modernizing urgency relentlessly. Every reform strengthens Russia internally and externally. Efficiency becomes hallmark of Peter's visionary rule. The state emerges stronger, disciplined, and resilient. Power consolidates under capable, modernized machinery. Nobles shave beards, adopting Western fashions boldly. Schools teach science, engineering, foreign languages. Industry rises, mining, shipbuilding, and factories expand. Art, literature, and theatre flourish under guidance. Peter visits Europe, bringing knowledge and skills home. Scientific societies form, encouraging research and experimentation. Every reform challenges tradition while shaping identity. Education spreads gradually, creating enlightened bureaucrats and artisans. Innovation becomes central to national pride and progress. Russia's cultural transformation matches its military modernization. Society learns, adapts, and slowly embraces change. Peter's revolution leaves enduring legacy across generations. Russia emerges as a modern European power. Winter halls echo with whispers of conspiracy. Catherine maneuvers carefully, securing crucial alliances. Guards and nobles await every subtle move. The throne changes hands in silent tension. A new rule arises with measured authority. She claims power, combining charm with strategy. Every decree demonstrates intelligence and calculated control. Court life adjusts to her determined presence. Ambition fuels reforms, reshaping governance quietly. Catherine's reign begins with bold, deliberate steps. Power consolidates under her attentive, strategic eye. Russia watches as a new era unfolds. Cannons thunder along southern and western frontiers. Crimea falls under Russian authority firmly. The Black Sea opens for naval dominance. Poland's partitions redraw maps across Eastern Europe. Strategic ports secure trade and military advantage. Armies march, conquering with discipline and precision. Diplomacy and force extend Moscow's far influence. Territories absorb Russian administration, law, and culture. Borders expand with careful, relentless ambition. Every conquest strengthens Russia's continental presence. Power shifts decisively in Europe's eastern theaters. Catherine emerges as a formidable geopolitical strategist. Her empire grows larger, wealthier, more dominant. Catherine reads philosophers, inspired by reason. Academies, schools, and libraries flourish across cities. Artists and architects create lavish, enduring masterpieces. Palaces reflect both grandeur and intellectual taste. Science and mathematics gain new state support. Education reaches the nobility and emerging elites. European thinkers influence Russian court and policies. Ideas of progress guide reforms and governance. Society experiences cultural awakening alongside territorial growth. Art, literature, and education become prestige symbols. Catherine's vision blends power with Enlightenment ideals. Innovation and aesthetics define her golden age. Russia begins embracing Western thought systematically. Peasants remain bound to noble estates firmly. Labor fuels agricultural, industrial, and urban growth. Noble power consolidates under centralized oversight. Catherine balances reform with pragmatic control carefully. Serfdom ensures stability, taxation, and predictable labor. Freedom remains limited despite modernization of elites. Rural life feels harsh, rigid, tightly regulated. Economic growth flows from land-based social order. Tensions simmer beneath the surface of progress. State authority strengthens at expense of peasantry. Powerful nobles enforce loyalty with strict oversight. Catherine's progressive image contrasts with social realities. Stability comes through control, not full emancipation. Armies and navies project power across continents. Borders extend from Baltic to Black Sea. Diplomatic influence shapes neighboring European states carefully. Trade and military dominance secure global recognition. Alliances favor Russian strategic interests decisively. Culture and science reflect empire's growing prestige. Moscow emerges as heart of continental authority. Every victory solidifies Russia's European status firmly. Other powers measure ambition, strength, and vision. Catherine's legacy endures across political and cultural spheres. Her reign blends conquest, reform, and enlightened governance. By her death, Russia stands strong, confident, powerful. The nation asserts itself as continental heavyweight. Factories rise slowly across uneven landscapes. Workers toil long hours with minimal pay. Railways connect cities, but gaps remain vast. Technology arrives inconsistently, fueling regional disparities. Urban centers grow, while villages lag behind. Economic modernization struggles against feudal structures. Modern industry clashes with outdated social order. Progress comes, but unevenly across Russian lands. Resources concentrate in few strategic urban hubs. Workers, peasants, and nobles feel the strain. Late development undermines empire's competitive strength. Inequality grows as modernization favors elites selectively. Industrialization sows seeds of tension across society. Armies march, yet fail against disciplined foes. Fleet suffers catastrophic losses at sea. Soldiers return home exhausted, demoralized, defeated. News spreads, shaking public and elite confidence. Logistics, planning, and command show glaring flaws. Corruption and inefficiency erode military effectiveness fast. Russia's prestige in Asia collapses dramatically. Diplomacy struggles to mitigate international embarrassment. Civil unrest rises alongside military disappointment. The empire's fragility becomes visible to all. Defeat sparks debates on reforms and modernization. Russian society senses vulnerability in ruling structures. The first cracks in imperial authority appear clearly. Millions march into war across frozen fields. Supplies fail. Logistics cannot sustain fighting forces. Civilians suffer shortages, hunger, and inflation painfully. Battlefields drain manpower faster than replacements arrive. Military defeats deepen public discontent relentlessly. Communication lines collapse under wartime pressure continuously. Rural production struggles to feed armies adequately. Industry strains to produce weapons and essential goods. Winter amplifies suffering among soldiers and citizens. War reveals decades of administrative neglect sharply. Morale collapses, faith in leadership declines steadily. Empire teeters under combined economic and military pressure. By 1917, Russia's stability falters dangerously. Cities erupt with strikes, protests, and riots. Peasants revolt against unfair taxes and landowners. Soldiers mutiny, refusing orders on frozen fronts. Voices of discontent echo through crowded streets. Hunger fuels anger across towns and villages. Nobles and officials struggle to maintain control. Revolutionary ideas spread like wildfire across regions. Faith in monarchy erodes, replaced by radical hope. Every corner of empire feels growing instability. Urban workers, rural peasants, and army unite reluctantly. Government struggles to respond to mounting crises. Chaos becomes the new reality in Russian life. The empire trembles under its own internal pressures. Crowds storm streets, demanding change immediately and loudly. Palace gates open, centuries of rule fall. Nicholas abdicates, ending dynastic authority completely. Romanov family loses power, influence, and control. Provisional governments attempt reform, but struggle continuously. Soviets rise, claiming authority from workers and soldiers. Civil unrest spirals into revolutionary momentum quickly. Old empire fragments under political and social pressure. Borders and loyalties shift in rapid succession. Russia enters unprecedented chaos and transformation period. Monarchy dies. Centuries of tradition vanish overnight. Empire collapses, leaving power in uncertain hands. History records the fall as inevitable, tragic, transformative. Once grand halls lie silent, dust settling slowly. Palaces crumble. Echoes of grandeur linger faintly. Golden domes dull beneath grey, somber skies. Thrones stand empty, history frozen in time. Eagles of empire toppled, wings broken forever. Marble staircases wear scars of former glory. Walls whisper stories of ambition, triumph, and loss. Courtyards remain, silent witnesses to vanished power. Every ruin tells tale of pride and fall. Vast territories once held in iron grip. Rivers, forests, and steppes carried imperial weight. Ambition, conquest, and reform shaped its path. Yet internal strife weakened the strongest foundations. Corruption, rebellion, and unrest tore seams slowly. Policies clashed with traditions and people's needs. The empire's vastness became both strength and burden. Centuries of rule succumbed to human limitations. Borders shifted, armies marched, then disappeared quietly. Dynasties fell, leaving echoes across frozen lands. Yet influence persisted in culture, law, and faith. Modern Russia carries memory of imperial ambition. Empires fall, but their shadows linger eternally. Past triumphs and tragedies inform present realities. History whispers lessons of power and hubris. The Russian Empire may be gone, but its spirit, legacy, and echoes endure forever.